How you guys doing today? I have a fun counter today, guys. This is one I would say is best used in your GACs. Probably not TWs because there's one guy here in your TWs you probably want to save for a different team. But in GACs, this is going to be an extremely high banner win versus the Nightsisters. You probably have already seen my recent video, or not really recent. It was a past video I did with the First Order and Watt versus Nightsisters, which give you an very easy, I would say, 60 banner win. So today's one I want to share and share with you guys is a bounty hunter with Watt one. But the thing here, though, the catch is that you don't need a whole 5-man. You can pull this off with just 4 people. So what are the people here, you might ask? Well, here you guys go. It's kind of, you can already kind of see it. It's the relics I have on my guys. Bosk, relic up. I would say we'll go into the relics in a little bit. So Bosk is the one, Boba rather is the second, and then of course Jango's the third. We'll go into how this all works, and then the fourth one here we have is of course Watt with the tech. The tech is why this works, and why it worked in the old First Order with Watt, with the tech, the tank tech, the weapon tech, and the extra tech. I'm not too sure what that one's called, but now let's chat about why this works so well. I think in this video I will now show some counters, or some of the videos I want to show you today as I'm chatting about this, just so you're not looking at my screen. So here we go. Let's chat about this. Why does it work so well? Well, you might not really like Bosk lead too much, but when it comes to this team on attacking in your offense, this is probably one of the best leads with how you can counter Nightsisters, because it says here with the leadership on Bosk, you get 50% max protection for all bounty hunters, and also 50% more tenacity. That's huge. Especially that max protection. You can really tank some big Nightsister Spirit hits. And in today's footage, you can probably see me tanking Relic 5 or even Relic 4 Nightsister hits, or Nightsister Spirit hits. So it's awesome. Also, on top of that, all bounty hunters gain 100% defense while at full health. And then one of the biggest things here is that whenever an enemy suffers a debuff or resists, all bounty hunters recover 5% HP and protection. That is probably one of the biggest things outside of the max protection with this leadership. So that's one big thing with Bosk. Another thing here is with his Trandoshan Rage, you get even more max HP and defense while he has a taunt. If you didn't know this, with the tank tech, you will almost always have a taunt the entire battle. So that's awesome. Okay, and then I guess we go over his payout. You don't get it all the time in some of these, but you do recover. Or well, let's see where is on the leadership. So with the leadership, you get 50 extra speed. Not bad. It's nice. Okay, so the next one I want to show is Boba. So Boba, if there's anyone here you don't need to be Gear 13, it is Boba Fett. The reason why is because he only is here to be fast and to apply his Death from Above special onto Talzin to get an AoE, or to rather get a ability block on Talzin for 2 turns. The reason why this is very similar to the First Order Watt is because you had, in the old one with First Order, you had Crew who can do a 2-turn stun onto Talzin, but instead now we have Boba who can do the exact same thing with an ability block. So it says here, deal physical damage to all enemies with an 80% chance to inflict ability block for 1 turn and a 50% chance to inflict damage over time. But the thing here, which is really good, is that it inflicts ability block on the selected target for 2 turns. So you can almost guarantee yourself ability block for 2 turns on your Talzin, or on their Talzin rather, which is huge. And also, of course, his unique here, he can attack out of turn with a Bounty Hunter Resolve, which is nice to even attack Talzin in the first place. That's pretty awesome, you know, I like that a lot. And then, of course, Execute can do some big damage. So the next one here is Jango. He is, I would say, him and Bosk are ones that would, just outside of this counter, I would really consider getting these guys Gear 13 because of how good they are. So Jango Fett, mine's Relic 4, he does not need to be this high. You can really, if you want to think about the minimum for this counter to work versus, I would say, you know, Relic 3, 4, 5 Nightsister teams, I would really say, you know, Gear 12 Bosk, Gear 11 Watt, and then I would say Relic 2 or 3 for both Bosk and now Jango. So that's probably what I would say on these whole recommendations for the relics and gear. So Jango Fett, we're not using his leadership here. We're using actually Bosk like we just mentioned. But if you guys do want to use this counter, use or not rather, what am I talking about? Go in Zeta, his unique for the enemies defeated on his turn cannot be revived. That's one you gotta have. So that's a huge thing. just so they can't revive. And you know how Nightsisters work with Bacca, they can revive themselves. So that's a very nice thing to have. And the reason why you want this guy gear 13 is, yeah, he can do some big damage, guys. With his Shrapnel Blast with the 2 hits, and also his basic with a double tap, is going to really, really melt down Asajj early on, and also Talzin. So that's just this guy, and he's awesome. Okay, the next guy here is Wat. Wat Tambor is a Separatist, of course. But the reason why he needs to be here is for the tank tech onto Bossk, and then a weapon tech onto Boba Fett. So the reason I'm saying weapon tech on a Boba Fett is because with that unique Zeta we were just talking about with Jango, he can already stop the revives with that unique Zeta. So instead of giving that to him again, you want to actually give that tech over to Boba Fett, just so we have now 2 attackers who can stop revives, which is going to be huge. So those are the 2 pieces of tech here. The third piece can go over to Jango Fett. It can be, you know, what is this one called? The mass. Let's see. I think it's this one, the Chewie Wob Med Pack. So you want to give that to Jango. So it's pretty much the generator to Bossk, the weapon to Boba, and then the Med Pack to Jango. So that's that. And you know, he's really just here for the tech. After you can get those 2 pieces of tech, at least for the tank and the weapon, he can die. It's totally fine. So now I want to go into actually, hang on, guys. I want to actually give a big shout out to my man Robear. Robear is a guy that is super smart about this game. I would say sometimes he's even smarter than me. He knows his stuff. He has a lot of different cool guides. I will actually link this one for this counter. He actually did one on this counter. He actually has a full write-up of this entire counter in its entirety. So like the gear, the relics, the modding, all that sort of stuff. Everything is there. So I would really check that out if you guys do want to, you know, get an even more in-depth look at it all. Man, I'm already forgetting. I forgot to go over mods here. So yeah, mods. Mods here, you would really ideally want everybody to be really fast. I would shoot for, you know, let's start here with Jango. I would try to shoot for, you know, 270 plus speed with an entire either crit damage set or offense set, but always have a crit chance set just so you ensure that you can crit every single time with every one of your hits. Of course, that can probably change if you have a higher relic, but if you're rocking, you know, relic 2, 3, 4, you want to really go for a crit chance set. So whatever really set between offense or crit damage is faster, go for that one here on your Jango Fett. And then coming back over here, I guess, to Wat. Mine's only gear 11, so here I'd only go for some speed. He does not need to be the fastest. Ideally, you do want him to be really fast to get, you know, guaranteed both techs off. So what I'm probably going to remod him for is even faster Wat. You know, 290, maybe 300, I think would be really safe. Just so he does ensure he gets both techs off. You know, gear 11 Wat's hard to get tanky if you're going to go straight for speed. Gear 12 or gear 13 Watt, he has way more HP protection, and he's even easier to get higher speed. So gear 13 Watt, with some of these other gear 13s like Bossk and Jango, this is like an easy counter. I mean, it's almost guaranteed wins with 61 banners every single time. So coming back up here to the Bounty Hunters, just to wrap up the mods here. We have Boba Fett and Bossk. So for Boba Fett, he needs to be the fastest one here. He needs to be the fastest, like we just mentioned earlier, with the Death from Above special. You have to apply that onto Talzin, or else you'll get the Plague off and potentially kill your Wat before he gets the tech off. Another probably way you can go about that, though, is just to mod your Wat to be even faster, so you don't have to worry about that potential thing happening. But I do like to make him really fast, just so he does get the weapon tech off. It can screw with some of, you know, the early on things happening with, like, the plagues. So just go for a really fast Boba Fett. Mine is right now at 304 speed. It's a 137 speed set, so it's nothing, you know, insane, but it is definitely above average. I did happen to go a full, like I said, speed set with a potency set and a potency on the cross. So what this all means for the potency, he has now 96% potency. And when you're fighting these Talzins, they're not going to be modded for tenacity, guys. So you're almost guaranteed to get ability block on a Talzin every single time, unless you get a super unlucky dodge on with your AoEs. But that never really happens. That's happened probably once out of my... Gosh, actually, maybe I have been unlucky there. It happened, like, I think, once out of my 10 attempts. So, like, 1 out of 9 times it happened. But I would probably say that was just super unlucky on my part. So, 304 speed on my Boba Fett. And the last but not least is Bossk. So, Bossk, you want to go for pretty much the exact same thing onto your Boba. But in this one, go for an HP set instead of, you know, defense or anything else or tenacity. You want that HP so he does not go below half health, or that will trigger the Talzin unique to give her even more turn meter. But if you have a gear 13 Bossk here with 100k protection, that spirit will never, I'm going to say this, guys, that spirit will never lower your boss's protection. I don't care what spirit you're fighting. I have yet to see it in my extent of counters in battles. I've had Bacca test this out. He even actually, man, I'm fighting Bacca. Bacca, thanks, man, for even letting me know about this. He is the one who even shared this to me, and then Robear gave me really in-depth stuff about this all. So those guys deserve a huge shout out. Man, when is Bacca getting a YouTube? I don't freaking know. He needs one. But yeah, in all those guys' tests, those guys, you know, Robear, Bacca, in my tests, none of those ones I've seen in the videos have been able even to get past the Bosk's protection. Any of them with a spirit. It will never happen. So in this with Bosk, go for speed, I would say. Does not need to be this fast. I would say maybe 280, 270 maybe. You got to focus on that protection. I would really try to shoot for 100k at least for the minimum. Just so you have to not even worry about the spirit even killing you. So now what we're going to do, guys, is now finally go into me going over this and showing you guys all this throughout the entirety of this entire battle. We'll show you a couple and we'll end the video. I'm sorry, I know people don't like this entire explanation, but I feel like it's very, very important here, guys. So here we go. I'm going to now show you, I mean, just some of my attempts I've had with this throughout me testing. I find this to be very, very, you know, I would say very consistent. I mean, it's really hard for this to lose. So here is one I want to show. Let's pull this one up here in a second. I gotta make sure I have the right one up here. Because, yeah, you can use this with 4v5, but you can also, if you want, just to play it safe, you can run an entire 5v5. So, here we go, boys. So. Let's pull this one. So, yeah, this was one I did first off. Didn't have the best RNG here. You know how it is. So, here we go. This is how it went. I think in this one I did lose my watt. It was my first test with my new remod, so... But this is like, let's just pause. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, guys. If you have the Gear 13 watt, you will never lose him. Just because of his low HP on Gear 11, you can potentially lose him versus these Talismans. So, also, big shout out to Ronin for, he's my shard mate. He let me test against his Nightsisters, which is huge. So here we go. We have a fast Boba Fett he goes before, but we got extremely unlucky. This is the one time out of my 10 times testing it today that we got dodged. Never happens. That never happens. So, typically that would get applied there. You don't have to worry about her AoE. Everybody's feeling fine and good. Because now that actually fed Talzin even more turn meter, which you do not want to have happen. So now what I would do, go straight for Asajj because she can do some stuns, some AoEs. So we just killed her. Next one I go for is Talzin. I'm not sure why I'm going for Spirit. This is a bad one to show. We probably have to show another one, I think, after this. But I would go for Talzin because she can, with Plagues on her basic, she can do even more damage with the Plagues. We just lost her watt there. But guess what? We got both pieces of tech. We got our tank tech all from the starting move and turn from our watt onto Bosk. Boom! You know, the Spirit's gone. That's just how Boba Fett works here. And then you get, with the other tech, the weapon tech to Boba Fett. And this is what I'm going to say here, guys. If you get both techs before Watt dies out to your Bosk and your Boba Fett, you will never lose. Banner-wise here, if you were to lose Watt here, unfortunately, like I did, what were we looking at? Probably like 58 banners. Maybe, I think it might be 59. I'm not too sure there. But that's super awesome. It just like a 4-man versus, you know, relicked up Nightsisters. It is very, very good. So, yeah, and also, you're going to get a lot of extra, like I said, a lot of extra protection regen from these debuffs being resisted and also being applied. So you can pretty much, if you do not have full banners at this part of the battle, you can really just do AoE after AoE and get full like we're getting right now. And we're good. We're already at full. I mean, it's awesome. So now I'm trying to go for, I think, Talzin, or maybe I'm just finishing up now just so I don't have to, because I was doing a lot of tests here. I didn't want to hit him. So that's the first one. The next one I want to show, I did a lot of them. The next one I want to show is one, I think I had a lot better RNG here. So like this one. I mean, yeah, I'm going to probably be using a full 5-man here. You don't need a 5-man here. The Dengar is here because I was just wanting to see what it looked like with 5-man. I'm not too sure really why I even had him in here. He doesn't need to be here, guys. Yeah, you do the AoE ability block. It landed, which is great. And then you give the weapon tech to Boba Fett. Do big hits. Use your Shadow Blast. Oh, we got dodged. Use that onto Asajj. You want to kill Asajj first, and then you can go over to Talzin. Now we're going to do another execute, some bigger damage. I mean, if you guys just imagine, like, Relic 5, Relic 6, Relic 7, Boba, and Django, you will probably just annihilate those guys. So here I don't give the tech, I actually instead cleanse my Boba. So that's always good. And then now I'm going to just kill Asajj. She's gone. We don't need to worry about her anymore. Wasted revive there. Now we're going to go after Talzin. So yeah, they just got an AoE off there, which is really not good. And you know what I'm thinking is maybe I shouldn't even go for Asajj first. I should probably just go straight for Talzin because she is really, really a pain in the butt. So yeah. You know, think of it. I'm not too sure why I've been going for Talzin or why I'm going for Asajj so much, because Talzin is the biggest pain in the butt I have ever seen in this counter. So yeah, they're Talzin and now Asajj are gone. One thing to note here versus Ronin's and Nightsisters, they're all Relic 5+. And also, I think everybody besides, I think, Zombie is modded for at least 275 plus speed. So you're talking about a 275 plus speed Bacca, Talzin, and Asajj, and especially Spirit. And that makes it very, very tough to get your Boba Fett faster than the Talzin. So you can make sure you get the AoE off. So, I mean, but this is like why I'm showing this one so much and why I want to share this one in particular is because you probably in your GAC experiences will probably never, for the most part, the majority of your GAC will probably never have to fight somebody like Ronin's Nightsisters with that fast mods. It will never probably happen. So that's just how this one went. I want to show one more versus the same team, or not same team, but versus Nightsisters again. But this is going to be Blade Baccas, because I feel like this is like the best potential thing to have happen to you. He does in Bacca's, in this attempt right here, he does have everybody gear 13, especially Watt. So here we go. We're gonna give everybody, you know, the train rolling. He goes before Talzin. He inflicts the ability block. He's now going to use, I think, his special, the stun. There you go, boom. And now it's gonna be Django's turn. He's gonna do a big hit. I think he goes on Talzin, like I should have gone. No, he does not. He goes burning first. So let's just see how this goes. I think he might be feeding Bosk some more turns here. So let's just see how this goes. Maybe he's going for more debuff, so he gets a huge fat hit with his execute. And there you go, 100k, guys. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure. Let's just see. I could check, but I'm pretty sure that Blade's his bounty hunters are like Relic 3, Relic 4, and then there you go. Talzin's now gone, and now it's just the three that don't really matter a whole lot now at this point in the battle. You go for Bacca, you go for Spirit, and you're good. Boom. Gosh, guys, this is really fun. So ideally, when it comes to modding Boba, this is like the last thing I'll talk about in mods. Ideally, I would go for more of like an CD build or an offense build, so you do get more big hits with the execute. But if you cannot manage to get that guy that fast with those, go for speed. That's what I would do. So that's what I did. So thanks Bacca for letting me use this, and also thanks Robear for that cool write-up, man. I really appreciate that, and I will leave a link to that as well down below. So last finishing remarks here on this counter. You know, let's just go over a whole part of it, you know, rundown out of it. So first things first, you only have to use 4 people here. Yeah, you will use Watt, but if you think about it, it's probably one of the best trade-offs in GAC with getting, you know, 61 banners, and then, you know, you can use somebody else on defense. Like what I was using beforehand was first order Watt, and then I put my bounty hunters on defense. But now I can use this team on offense and now use first order onto defense with my new Hux. And I really would probably say at this point in GAC that new first order and Hux team is probably a bit better than Django is, for the most part, I would say. So that is one of my favorite teams right now to use in countering the Nightsisters, and I want to share that to you guys today. Thank you again, Blade and Robear. You guys are awesome. I thought this was kind of a good timing as well, because we just kind of did the ability battles, or the assault battles with the bounty hunters. There's like counter going around with Bosk in the lead with Watt. I mean, now we have this versus the Nightsisters. So there you guys go. It's a fun counter. I would really recommend it to you guys if you guys can have these guys built up. Like I said, Gear 11, Watt, Gear 12, Boba Fett, Gear 13, Django, and Bosk. You can beat pretty much any Nightsister team out there. Pretty much, I would say, like 90% or more of the Nightsisters out there. So there you guys go. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it around, and if you guys are new here to the channel, sub. It would be awesome if you guys could. We're trying to hit our 8K sub goal, and with that, we will do another Hyperdrive bundle giveaway. So you guys got to share it around and sub. It'd be awesome. Besides that, we have a Discord down below in the description. And also we have a couple ways to support me. Patreon is a great way. And also the channel memberships. They're both great ways to help support me if you guys do appreciate and enjoy this content. I like to do pretty much almost always daily content. So you guys always get something out of me every day. So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. And until next time, I will see you all later. Peace out.